Alright everyone, welcome back to my channel, Baseball Talk with Nick Morgan. Now, Robinson Cano has tested positive for PEDs and not COVID-19. This is the second time Cano has gotten busted for his use of performance enhancement drugs, and this time it will result in a bigger suspension from Major League Baseball. Now, the news came out yesterday that Cano will not be able to play in this upcoming year because of his use of performance enhancement drugs in the 2020 season. He did test positive. So we have a lot to dive into here because although this seems bad on the surface, the New York Mets actually benefit from this loss of Cano in the upcoming season. If you guys are ready for this one, don't forget to drop a like down below, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Without further ado, let's get into it. Robinson Cano suspended from Major League Baseball play next year. Something important to note here, context-wise, is that Robinson Cano tested positive the first time in his career back in 2018. Now, he was still with the Seattle Mariners at this point, and they found out he was using PEDs. He served an 80-game suspension in that 2018 year, and then he would later be traded to the New York Mets alongside Edwin Diaz. And of course, that was the trade that sent highly ranked prospect Jarred Kelenic from New York to the Seattle Mariners. That was the first time Cano got in trouble for using these performance enhancement drugs that go against Major League Baseball's policies, and now we see it happening again here following the abbreviated 2020 season. In the 60-game 2020 season, Cano hit .316, that's 54 hits and 171 at-bats with 10 home runs and 30 RBIs. He had a .352 on-base percentage and an .896 OPS. Those are numbers that no one was expecting out of the left-handed second baseman this year, especially because it's such a weird year. But now we know why, that those results come from performance enhancement drugs. And in Robinson Cano's case, I can see why he did it. This game is growing and there are budding superstars left and right. Talent is increasing, guys are getting younger, and Cano is 38 years old. Take Jeff McNeil, for example. He primarily plays second base, and he is such a good, young, talented player that he can easily fight with Robinson Cano for that starting spot. So here's Robbie going into the abbreviated 2020 year thinking he can maybe get away with it and put up great numbers to secure the starting spot in the next season in 2021. And of course, now he does get busted for it. He serves a full 162-game suspension starting this upcoming year. But Cano really was trying to fight for a starting position. He's 38 years old. We did not see any injuries out of him this year, and he has kind of been riddled with injuries these past few seasons. So that was also quite a shock. But Robinson Cano, second baseman, he's been in the game for so long, but now his reputation is tainted even more. The first time around, it's like a slap on the wrist, but now this is the second time he is violating these policies put in place by Major League Baseball, and it's no longer just frowned upon. This is a really bad look for Robbie Cano. He was on track to go and become a Hall of Famer, one of the best second baseman hitters in all of the game, and now all of that is just out the window as he gets busted a second time for using PEDs. Robbie Cano made his debut with the New York Yankees back in 2005. He spent quite some time in pinstripes before going out and becoming the Seattle Mariners second baseman. Then he was traded to the New York Mets and played some time here so far. And his career is not over yet, but he is 38 years old. He had a flurry of accomplishments, including 8-time All-Star, 5-time Silver Slugger, and 2-time Gold Glove Award winner. He is a very talented player, but with age comes diminishing talent, and I think that's kind of what scared him here into using performance enhancement drugs, not just one time, but twice. He's now a double offender, one more time, and it is a lifetime ban from Major League Baseball. I really don't know what Cano's future looks like in the sport, but he does have to surrender his $24 million contract that he would be owed for the 2021 season on behalf of the New York Mets. And that right there is where the New York Mets benefit from Robinson Cano's 2021 suspension. He is forfeiting his $24 million contract that he was set to receive in the upcoming year, and that is now pocket change for the New York Mets. They can use that however they wish. So take that $24 million and put it on top of the richest owner in Major League Baseball, being Steve Cohen, And this New York team can really go out and spend a lot of money and make some big moves this winter. Cohen had already come in saying he was going to go ahead and pursue top free agents and make this Mets team incredibly good, not just for 2021, but for the future. Now he has $24 million to utilize to chase after a Trevor Bauer or a JT Realmuto, maybe George Springer, Marcelo Ozuna. There are so many names that he can now go after to make this Mets team so much better. So, of course, the additional $24 million in the bank is great for this New York Mets team, but that's not the only benefit they have. With Robinson Cano no longer being active for the 2021 season, that frees up a slot in the lineup. Now, whether that's the DH role, if it comes back to the National League in this next year, or if that's just the starting second baseman, that is critical for this New York Mets team because you can have all of your best players in at the same time, assuming they're all healthy. Jeff McNeil can return to second base where he is great at defensively. That is his primary role on the field. He can return to second base. You now have extra outfield space. You can go ahead, pick up a big free agent with the money, or you can extend a Michael Conforto. You also have Dominic Smith and Pete Alonso both in the same lineup at the same time. Again, assuming the DH comes back. Robinson Cano no longer has to fit into the equation, which is huge for the New York Mets because now they have this empty role in the lineup that they can fill. And they can do that using the $24 million from Robinson Cano's now no longer existent 2021 contract. So obviously none of this is good for Robinson Cano. This is the second time he's tested positive for PEDs. He's going on serving his second suspension, and he will be on the restricted list for the entire 2021 year. Now he's getting up there in age, and you hate to see it, you hate to think about it, but this could be the end of Cano's career at a Major League Baseball level. I mean, I don't know how much he's going to have left in him. And when he comes back, he's going to be entering his age 39 season. He's already been injury prone. He's gotten hurt quite a bit these last few years. And we just really don't know what the future has in store for Cano and this superstar, or at least 1 point superstar second baseman. It is upsetting. It's unfortunate. Cano at one point was one of the best in the game. Now his entire career is tainted, at least these last tail end seasons, and he will not be remembered the same. I think this completely eliminates him from a Hall of Fame talk, especially if you have guys like Barry Bonds who are not in the Hall of Fame right now, Roger Clemens, because they tested positive for the use of performance enhancement drugs. So Cano, this is probably nearing the end of the line. It's not looking good for him, but the New York Mets do benefit from all of this. They have that $24 million to spend, an extra spot cleared up in the lineup, and we will see how they handle this going into next year. So guys, that's going to end it for this video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to drop a like down below, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Peace.